Welcome back to the British Accent Podcast, where we help you bring English into your real, daily life. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. Today's episode is all about something very simple, but very powerful: how to use English during the small daily tasks you already do. Brushing your teeth. Making your coffee. Getting dressed. It might not seem like study time, but trust us, it can be.
Exactly. So many English learners feel like they don't have time to practice. But what if you could turn those tiny moments, those in-between minutes, into language learning opportunities? Not by adding more to your to-do list, but by doing what you already do, just in English.
That's the magic. Let's take something really ordinary, like brushing your teeth. You're standing in front of the mirror for 2 minutes, twice a day. That's 4 minutes of potential English practice. You can talk to yourself. Say what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. First, the top. Now the bottom. Don't forget the back teeth.
And because it's repetitive, it actually helps your memory. You're saying the same kind of sentences every day, so those phrases really stick. You're creating a personal vocabulary that connects to your life.
Exactly. Another good one is making your morning coffee or tea. While you wait for the water to boil or the coffee to brew, talk yourself through it. I need a mug. I'll add sugar. This smells good. I feel more awake already.
And it's not just about vocabulary. You're also building fluency. You're forming sentences. Practicing verb tenses. Even if you're not speaking out loud, thinking in English counts too.
It really does. If you can make that small shift, where you're narrating your life, even quietly, you're creating a habit. It's like you're planting English inside your everyday moments. You're not just studying the language, you're living with it.
Right. And this is great for people who feel nervous speaking in public. These small tasks are private. It's just you and your thoughts, or you and your toothbrush. There's no pressure to be perfect. You can try, make mistakes, and no one will hear.
And that freedom helps you relax. It builds confidence in a natural way. You're not waiting for a perfect study session. You're training your brain to think in English all the time.
Let's name a few more everyday moments where English can sneak in. Washing your face. Getting dressed. Picking out clothes. Even feeding a pet. Here's your food. Are you hungry? Good dog. That's English. That's practice.
And when you do that often enough, it becomes second nature. The more you talk through your daily routine in English, the more fluent you'll feel when you're having real conversations.
And don't worry about using complex grammar. Use the language you do know. Keep it simple. Now I'm putting on my shoes. I'm going to the kitchen. I'm cutting vegetables. These are real, useful phrases.
Yes, and if you find a word you don't know, make a note. Look it up later. That's how you grow. You're connecting new vocabulary to something physical and meaningful in your day.
So if you've ever felt like you don't have time to study English, or that you're wasting time during chores, you're not. You're already living in a world full of tiny chances to practice. English can be with you as you move, think, and live your life.
Let's talk about the shower for a second, because even that can become English time. You don't need a textbook or flashcards. Just talk to yourself. I need shampoo. I like this smell. This water feels warm. You're using verbs, adjectives, nouns, all in context. And because you're relaxed, your brain is more open to remembering.
That's such a good point. Our brains don't always learn best when we're stressed and sitting still. But when we're doing something physical, like brushing our hair or folding clothes, we're often more present. That's a great time to repeat vocabulary, describe what we're doing, or even review a few sentences we learned earlier.
And it doesn't have to be long or perfect. 5 seconds of English is still 5 seconds more than nothing. If you can just say, I'm putting on my socks, that's a win. If you can ask yourself, where is my phone? In English, that's practice. Don't underestimate these micro moments.
They build up. Day by day. You're training your brain to default to English without needing to translate. That's a huge milestone in fluency. And it doesn't require more time, just a shift in awareness.
Right. It's not about carving out 2 extra hours. It's about layering English into the moments that are already happening. Making tea. Combing your hair. Checking your bag before you leave the house. All of those moments can speak English with you.
And if you feel silly at first, that's normal. Talking to yourself can feel weird. But here's the truth, no one is judging you. And even if they did hear you, it just means you're someone who's dedicated to learning. That's something to be proud of.
So whether you're rinsing dishes, sweeping the floor, or buttoning up your shirt, don't miss the chance. Say what you're doing. Ask yourself a question. Respond. Even simple exchanges like, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock, can train your brain more than you think.
It's everyday English. It's real-life English. And when it becomes part of your habits, it doesn't feel like studying anymore, it just feels like thinking. Like living.
Exactly. And think about how often these small daily tasks repeat. You brush your teeth every morning and night. You wash your hands. You get dressed. You look in the mirror. That's 2, 3, 4 chances every single day to repeat the same phrases, and every repetition strengthens your memory.
Yes. That's actually one of the most effective learning strategies, spaced repetition. And your day naturally gives you that. If you say, I'm washing my face today, and then again tomorrow, and the next day, it sticks. You don't even need to write it down, it becomes muscle memory.
Another great habit is narrating your thoughts. Like, while you're making your coffee, try saying out loud or silently, I'm pouring the water. The mug is hot. I need more sugar. That's practice in real-time vocabulary. You're creating full sentences in English while doing something automatic.
And if you want to level it up, you can even pretend to explain your routine to someone else. Like, now I'm putting toothpaste on my toothbrush. Then I brush for 2 minutes. It might sound silly, but it's actually amazing for fluency and sentence flow.
And here's something else, it helps your confidence. Because the more you practice these simple expressions, the less nervous you'll be when it's time to talk to someone else. You've already said these things before. To yourself, maybe, but your brain doesn't care. It still counts.
You're literally building fluency through repetition and context. No memorization drills, no pressure, just using English while living your life. That's what makes it stick.
And you know what? These little moments, they are gentle. They are not overwhelming. If you're tired, if your day is full, if you don't have time to sit down and study, these moments are still there. You don't need energy. You just need awareness.
Exactly. You don't need to feel guilty about not opening a grammar book. If you said 5 sentences in English while getting ready this morning, you studied. If you asked yourself a question while making a sandwich, you practiced. It all matters. It all counts.
And that's a mindset shift a lot of learners need. That it's not about studying harder, it's about being more present with the language. Your life is already full of opportunities to connect with English. You just have to start noticing them.
I love how freeing that is. Like, instead of thinking, I didn't have time to study today, you can say, actually, I practiced while doing the laundry. I spoke English to myself while I packed my bag. I listened to a short voice note while waiting for the microwave. That is learning.
It really is. And when you repeat those moments every day, you build a strong, natural relationship with English. You stop seeing it as a subject and start experiencing it as part of your daily rhythm. That's the magic.
And honestly, that's how native speakers learn too. Think about kids growing up. They don't sit and study vocabulary lists. They hear words while brushing their teeth, or getting dressed, or going to the store. It's all real-life repetition in small daily moments.
That's a powerful reminder. Because so many English learners feel like they have to do something big to improve. But the truth is, fluency is built in the little things. The everyday. The quiet moments.
So next time you're tying your shoes, or choosing your clothes, or preparing breakfast, pause and ask yourself, how would I say this in English? That one question is already a form of practice.
And the more often you ask that question, the more fluent you become. Not because you're studying harder, but because you're living more mindfully, with English as your quiet companion.
Yes, your quiet companion. That's such a comforting way to describe it. English doesn't need to shout in your life. It doesn't need to demand all your attention. It can simply walk beside you while you move through your day.
Exactly. And when you treat English like that, like a presence, not a pressure, it becomes less scary. Less overwhelming. More like something you can build a relationship with, day by day.
You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to form flawless sentences while brushing your teeth. Maybe you forget the word for toothpaste today, that's okay. Maybe you remember it tomorrow. It's not about speed. It's about returning to the language again and again.
That's something I wish more learners believed. That learning English isn't about cramming, it's about returning. Returning in the quiet, in the mess, in the normal routines. Those moments are enough.
And they really do add up. You might not see the progress day to day, but weeks later, you suddenly notice, hey, I just described my whole breakfast routine in English without thinking about it. That's growth. That's fluency happening in the background.
Exactly. It's like watering a plant. You don't see the roots growing, but they are. And one day, without warning, the flower blooms. Your sentences become smoother. Your confidence rises. Your understanding deepens. Just because you made English part of your day-to-day life.
So, if you're brushing your hair, making coffee, folding clothes, talk to yourself in English. Whisper it, think it, say it out loud if you can. Those ordinary moments are your secret classroom.
And no one else even needs to know. It's between you and the language. Quiet, steady, gentle, and incredibly powerful.
And maybe that's the real key, remembering that your English journey doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It just needs to be consistent. A few soft words while you stir your tea, a short sentence while you tie your shoes, a quiet thought as you wash your hands, they all count.
They absolutely do. And if you're listening right now thinking, but I'm too busy, or I don't have time, just know, you already have what you need. Your everyday life is full of small windows for English. You're not starting from nothing. You're starting from here.
So trust the quiet work. Trust the slow build. And trust yourself. You're doing better than you think, and your small efforts are shaping something big.
Thanks for spending part of your day with us here on the British Accent Podcast. Whether you're folding laundry or walking to work, we're glad to be by your side. Until next time, keep going, you've got this.